My name is Parker Lentini. I'm 18 years old and I am one of 300,000 kids in the U.S. with juvenile arthritis. But I'm special. I have systemic onset juvenile arthritis with overlapping syndrome. Those overlapping syndromes include myositis, vasculitis, Raynaud's, psoriatic features, ankylosing spondylitis, allergies, asthma, hypogammaglobulinemia, osteoporosis, adrenal insufficiency, autonomic dysfunction, pulmonary mixed lung disease, pleurisy, swollen limbs, pericardial effusion, papilledema, and pseudoedema. When I tell people I have arthritis, they often say, "Oh yeah, my grandma has arthritis." And to that, I say, "What? No way, you're telling me old people can get arthritis too?" But then I explain that yes, I have the type of arthritis that your grandma has, but I also have the systemic kind, which means my arthritis also infects my internal organs, such as my heart, lungs, liver, and kidneys. And the word systemic means I can literally get inflammation in any part of my body. Of course, it affects my joints, ligaments, and tendons, but the attacks have also been directed at my lymph nodes, digestive system, lungs, muscles, skin, eyes, cerebral spinal fluid, kidneys, and heart. I have also gone through several surgeries and procedures over the past 8 years, the main one being bilateral reconstructive ankle surgery. During that surgery, my doctor lengthened and shortened my ligaments, turned my tibia, shaved down my heel, and put cadaver bones in my feet, and used 11 pins to hold them in place. And of course, he did that on both feet, hence bilateral. Unfortunately, there was a slight complication with that surgery. The cadaver bone they put in my left foot disappeared. My body saw it as a foreign object and it disintegrated and was absorbed into my body. Due to this, I had to go back into surgery again, but this time they needed to fuse my foot instead. They did a subtalar fusion where they made 5 incisions and put 2 pins in and inserted 3 screws into my left ankle. Then earlier this year, I found out that the same thing was happening to my right ankle and I needed to go back to get that foot fused, also a subtalar fusion. But this time they only made 1 incision, inserted only 2 screws, and no pins. So that was a nice surprise. By doing these fusions, I lost lots of mobility in my ankles. But the way I see it is I can sacrifice some mobility now to ensure I will be able to walk in the future. And to me, that is a no-brainer. And as of now, my left ankle is doing good, and I have just started physical therapy, and I'm also walking on my right ankle again. My most recent issue is that I've been getting kidney stones. In June, I had a 10mm stone surgically removed. So basically, they went all Star Wars up inside me with mini X-Wing to shoot down the asteroid and then sucked it out. I now have another stone in my left kidney. I know, I am all kinds of messed up. Over the years, we have tried tons of different meds, ranging from pills and shots to narcotics and infusions. As of right now, I'm on a combination of all of these, adding up to a total of about 25 different meds. The journey getting to where I am today has been a very tough one. During the last 8 years, there have been 7 biological meds that have failed me, but that doesn't include all of the pills that failed me as well. But let's get that straight. I did not fail those meds. They failed me. After 5 years of failed med after failed med, in late 2013, I finally decided to be part of a study. And that study changed my life. To start the study, they had me do something called a washout period. During that washout period, they stopped almost all of my medications, including my IVIG, which is an IV of blood plasma. That was pretty hard, but little did I know how much worse it would get. For this study, you either start out getting the medication or placebo, which is basically nothing. But after a month, everybody ends up getting the real thing. Of course, we were hoping I'd get the med and all would be good. But with just my luck, of course, I got placebo. We had a feeling that the shot they gave me was a placebo pretty early on in the study. As I went into the second week, things started turning for the worse. My pain went through the roof, and I ended up going into macrophage activation syndrome, which is a life-threatening condition. It was at this time my doctor came to me and said that I could stop the study right then and there. And without a second thought, I said no, prompting her and my mom both to ask why. And I said, it doesn't matter what I feel right here and now. What matters, by going through with this study, I can help other kids with arthritis in the future. And that's when my mom looked at me and gave me a hug and started crying. Together, as a family, we made it through that study, and I stayed on that med for almost 3 years. and that's the longest any medication has ever worked for me. The Arthritis Foundation has helped me cope with the tough times in my life by providing me with opportunities to connect to other families with arthritis through family fun days, advocacy summits, and the Juvenile Arthritis Conference. The conference is especially helpful to new families who have just been diagnosed. The way it helps these families is by showing them that they're not alone. You get to meet a whole bunch of other families from around the nation at this conference. And I personally believe it helps the kids whether they have arthritis or a sibling. By matching them up in a group of kids their age, we are all going through similar situations, and because of the conference, I have made so many lifelong friends. The first friend that comes to mind is one of my best friends in the whole world, Kristen, who goes by K-Mac. She is the strongest person I know. K-Mac ended up paralyzed due to her arthritis, and now lives her whole life in a wheelchair. But that wheelchair doesn't hold her back. Kristen still lives her life to the fullest while being completely independent. K-Mac told me at the last conference that before she was paralyzed, she was in constant pain, but at least she was able to walk. And now that she can't walk, she isn't in constant pain. It was what she said next that truly inspired me. She said that she would go back to being in constant pain if that meant she could walk again. So for the rest of that trip, I refused to use my wheelchair when I was with her, which was all the time. I felt that since I do have the ability to walk, I should use it no matter how much pain it caused me. On the last day of the trip, Kristen came to me and told me that she was so impressed that I walked the whole trip even though it caused me immense pain. That meant the world to me. She said that she wanted me to use my wheelchair that day, so I did. That trip made me realize that I am far more capable than I know. Then in September, K-Mac came to stay with us for a week. And to my surprise, she walked into my house. She walked into my house. It almost had my mom and I in tears. It just goes to show that we can accomplish anything as long as we put our mind to it. The week after conference, I went to Camp Boggy Creek to be a counselor. I decided that I wouldn't use my wheelchair the whole week. And you know what? I didn't use it. That week, I may have had to take extra meds every day, but I walked a total of 60,000 steps. That was even more than my dad had that week. Speaking of camp, the Arthritis Foundation also sends us kids to camps that are designed for kids with disabilities and illnesses. I have gone to Camp Boggy Creek for 6 summers, and those summers were some of the best of my life. It is staffed with a clinic that is outfitted like a mini hospital with supplies, meds, and medical staff. There are tons of things to do at camp, even for a kid like me who's normally stuck inside. The entire camp has paved pathways and ramps for wheelchairs. They have archery, horseback riding, woodshop, boating, fishing, swimming, putt-putt golf, theater, and a gym. Camp has let me experience things I never thought I could do. There's this awesome activity for oldest campers called the tower. You climb up a 40-foot tower and zip line 100 yards down. For me, this was really cool because in 2015, I had surgery 3 months before I went to camp that summer. And on my cabin stay to climb the tower, I decided to go up the hardest way possible because, well, why not? I went up the Giant's Ladder. The Giant's Ladder is a 2-person activity where you and your partner climb up a rope ladder, but the catch is each rung gets farther and farther apart, starting at 4 feet and ending at 6 feet. And while you climb, your whole cabin is cheering you on from the bottom. It took every ounce of drive to get up each rung. At one point, I was in so much pain I was crying and wanted to go back down. But below me, my whole cabin was there, cheering me on and telling me I could do it. Then I looked at my partner and he said something that has stuck with me ever since. Pain is just a lasting imprint of experience. You need to experience this. I had to win that battle. Somehow I found strength to get up that ladder, and I swear to this day that there is something magical about those camps that let me and all the other kids that go to camps do things they never thought they could do. On May 7th, 2016, I did what I thought was impossible. I walked the full mile at that year's Walk to Cure Arthritis. But it wasn't just me, it was us. Whether you were at the walk or not, all of you were there walking with me in spirit. That year, our team raised more money than we ever have before. We raised $27,100. So now, I have a couple questions for you, and I'll give you a hint. All of the answers are yes. So first, I'll start off with an easy one. Did you know that kids get arthritis too?
Yes.
Yes.
No. I need to hear it. Give me some more. Did you know that kids get arthritis too?
Yes.
There you go. Did you know kids get arthritis? Well, I said that one. Did you know there is still no cure for arthritis?
Yes.
Did you know there are 300,000 kids with juvenile arthritis?
Yes.
Do you think that I can walk that whole mile at this year's walk again?
Yes.
And finally, my favorite saying is you're never fully dressed without a smile. And one thing that is guaranteed to make me smile is seeing people donate to the Arthritis Foundation. So my last question for you is, are you going to make me smile by donating today?
Yes.
I'm going to hold you guys to that. And as a start, my family and I will be donating $200 right now. So, Rebecca, if you could come up. Thank you. This is great.
All right. Can we give
Thank you.